So, as some of you guys may know, your boy did lose his JP account recently, but, I was kind of looking at some of the Lostbelt 7 stuff that was coming out, and with my, I would say, a little weaker, but yet kind of stronger JP account, because it got stronger, but everybody's now level 1, I was kind of like, you know what, can I take on Lostbelt 7? And I started looking through some of the actual fights that you have to go through in Lostbelt 7, and I was like, wow, this is a little bit sussy, dude. Some of these fights are a little ridiculous, and I thought I'd just make this a little bit of a PSA for anybody that, I had convinced to get into playing JP, because I was like, oh, these campaigns are all super nice, they're letting you level up your servants for basically free, dude, this is so awesome. And then they smack us with like the first part for Lostbelt 7, and I was like, oh yeah, like, I was telling people that it was going to be difficult. I didn't think it was going to be like this. There's also a couple other just random confirmed things that we've got that I wanted to go over in this video. So if you enjoy just informative videos like this one, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow for another controversial tier list. Hey man, I like giving my opinion, but some people don't like hearing it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I've kind of like gone ahead and I've already picked them all out for everyone, but this is like the Cerberus fight on 5.2, but kind of on steroids. Now, you only have to break her second bar, but like, keep in mind that Olga Marie over here can just like slap your entire party with like a 10k burn that lasts for 3 turns, and then just start obliterating you, right? Keep in mind that she's got like AoEs on some of her attacks. She ain't got an NP because it's just like the extra attack wombo combo, but it might as well be because the extra attack is still an like AoE attack, and so like without revealing her NP, she's still blasting us with an NP, right? And like, you can't debuff her or anything like that. She's just like a really, really annoying bungus type character that sits at the very, very beginning of Lostbelt 7. When I say the beginning, I mean, look at this. You have no battle, and then boom, thrown right in there. Can you beat Olga Marie? No, then you probably don't deserve to be in this Lostbelt. So like, that was already something that like I just kind of strolled into, because I didn't even like look at what I was running into. I was like, oh yeah, this is probably gonna be like, some introductory fight. Maybe I just gotta live for like 3 turns or something, right? I just walked in here, got slapped, looked at the details, and I was like, yeah, I need to kind of warn some people that are running into JP right now, because JP's admittedly pretty hype. There's some other tabs that I have open, specifically 2 that we might, well, one of them we might actually get as a servant in the future. We'll talk about that in just a second, but I was like, I need to warn these people, because I don't want them to do what I did and just be like, I'm having a great old time right now. I'm just having such a grand time playing Fate Grand Order, and then just get obliterated by Olga Marie over here. Do keep in mind that your mash does actually get a buff when you do this. It's actually pretty solid, but just keep that in mind, even though it's not really the subject of this video. Then you have like this Kingprotea battle that like you could just theoretically fight her forever because of the infantile regression buff that she has. Like, she's just gonna like stack all of her stuff and then regress, and you could like theoretically just fight her forever, which I think is really, really funny, because there's like all those like showcases and stuff that like, I myself am like, okay, where can I like show off this servant against? Like, who can I bring them against? It's like, oh, if only like I could just fight this battle whenever I wanted, because you could just theoretically fight her for as long as you want. Now, if you don't want to do that at all, right, you just bring like your alter ego killer, right? You bring, your Musashi or something, and you just smack her in the face, or you bring your Kami, you just smack her in the face and just take her out. But I just thought it was really funny that I'm like, okay, so not only do we have basically like the Cerberus on steroids as like the DPS, or I guess just the box check in general for Lostbelt 7, but then we have like a theoretical like infinite battle you could do where you guys could just keep fighting each other forever, right? And the battle would never end because you guys would just keep resetting your buffs. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of funny, right? But then that's not what I'm looking for. This is actually kind of funny because you play like football or like basketball or something with like dinosaurs and Olga Marie. Although that might not be the node. It might be like this node or something. It's somewhere around there. But I thought that was really funny. But where where is it? It's this Benny Enma fight. Yeah, this one. So this is something that I actually kind of wanted to also bring note to. Don't really worry about this one over here. This one, she basically says you're not allowed to buff anything, but it ends after 3 turns. But this one I think was kind of interesting. One, because they force Hassan to be in your back row. Like, usually they force the guy to be in your front row, but he's at the very end. It's really weird. But then, dude, look at this. She has a 50% chance to insta-kill you, and then if she insta-kills you, or I guess Olga Marie, she's gonna give herself guts, right? Which is just insane. So she's murking all of your servants, and then if you are bringing Olga Marie up here, you're just gonna give her a free guts, basically. Like, it's just insane. And then she's also just gonna, you know, fully blast up her NP, pierce your defense if you're trying to do anything like that, and then, you know, is also doing the typical Benny Enma stuff of being anti-evil and anti-chaotic. But here's the interesting thing. This is actually not just normal Benny Enma, and if you're not here for like spoilers, or you're like potentially not wanting to get anything ruined for you in Lostbelt 7, this is actually like Benny Enma Alter, right? Like, this is Benny Alter, and it's actually really cool because this one is actually like what I imagine like the full like adult version of Benny Enma is. I don't know why we have like this little bean bird lady in our Chaldea, but apparently this is like the actual lady, right? Like, this is actually Benny Enma, right? And she looks really, really sick. Like, I really like this. She doesn't have the like altered eyes and everything, like the hair like normal alters have, but honestly, I don't care. I think she looks really sick. I think the red and black aesthetic is really, really cool. And so it's, again, something to kind of watch out for. I was like, man, I don't know if I could be bringing all these like random NPC servants and winning. But then, you know, I kind of also just wanted to talk about like the Benny Enma Alter thing. But anyway, even outside of that, right? Even outside of all that, you got like, well, okay. So there's a bit like, I don't know if these are like super difficult because they don't actually like NP you or anything. They're kind of just like big bungus servants, and this one ends after like the first HP bar. So like that's, you know, fine, right? It's okay. You don't have to actually do like 1,000,000 damage to this guy. Plus he's a Zerk. You should be able to kind of like just go get him pretty easily, right? You should be able to go just attack him, even though he's got like the 40% defense. But like, this is ridiculous. The Ort thing, this is what I like when I saw this and I was looking at all this right here. You see this? These 10 million HP bars. I was like, yeah, or not even 10, dude. Look at this. There's like 2 rows or something, man. It's insane. Well, I guess I don't even know what's actually going on right now, because look, there's like these 10, and they've got an HP bar, and then there's like a bunch of break bars down here, and they got their own HP bars down there as well. So I don't even know what's going on down here, right? And I know that you don't have to like actually like kill this person. You don't have to like get through all of them, but like this is where I was like, Lostbelt 7's looking a little bit suspicious, boys. Like, this is looking it's looking like it's going to make Serranos look like a little baby man, right? Because Serranos was really difficult because he was really thick, right? And he would like massively debuff you, especially with like curses and such, right? So you would like just take a lot of passive damage, right? So he would just chew through your servants really, really fast because he was just like steadily, like, well, not even steadily, but like massively wasting away a lot of their HP with like the massive curse stacks. This Ort dude, this guy right here, whatever you want to call this thing right here. I know it's called like the spider and like the Fate Notes thing or whatever. This thing might be a little ridiculous. And so I was like, bro, I need to give people the fairest of warnings. I'm like, if you just started JP, you might not want to go run into Lostbelt 7 quite yet. Maybe go get your box a little bit stronger. Your boy is definitely, I think I'm almost ready to kind of go run in there. I'm gonna get my Castoria little stall team ready, and I'm just gonna kind of get through the Olga Marie fight that way, just being like, I'll just keep cleansing the burn debuff. You know, you keep throwing it at me, I'll keep cleansing it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But some of these other things, I'm like, they're not exactly like super hard, but they've got like really weird gimmicks, right? Like the fact that like Passion Lip can technically be immortal and you could fight her forever is kind of insane. The fact that Benny Enma just has like straight up like a 50-50 chance of just insta-killing you on like some Passion Lip type stuff is also kind of insane, right? Plus, we're getting interesting servants and like, or interesting ideas like this Benny Enma Alter over here, right? And then we got this, which I don't even know where to start with this, right? All the Fate lore heads in the comments will be like, well, actually, this makes sense, because if you really would have read his first skill in Fate notes, actually, I don't care, bro. He's got like a Googleplex HP, okay? He's got too much. He's got too much. And while I doubt that we're going to have to actually chew through all of this and then, watch that be famous last words, watch it be like, oh yeah, actually, you're going to spend 800 years doing this 100 million HP boss battle. We're going to make you actually sit through that. But, even though I don't imagine you have to do something like this, this is kind of insane. Like, this was something that we just talked about as like a joke. Oh yeah, what if we saw some guy with like 20 HP bars or something, or like 10 HP bars, something like that. I think the most we've seen before this was like the Gilgamesh from Gilfest 2, who had like, it was like 5 HP bars, or like it was like 4 or 5 or something like that. Like he had like quite a few of them. I think that was like the most we've seen. Dude, this is insane. Like, this is ridiculous. I know we're not gonna have to fight it, but I'm like, the fact that they programmed this in the game, I'm just saying, I'm just kind of like, tilting the glasses a little bit, being like, Lasengel, why do you have this programmed and ready to go? Why do you even have it possible that there's this many HP bars in the game? What are you getting down to over there? But yeah, with all that being said, I just thought this was kind of like a fun topic to talk about. And I wanted to kind of get your thoughts in the comments down below. If you've played through Lostbelt 7, let me know how your experience has gone in the comments down below. I don't actually think a lot of the fights are like too difficult, like if your box is like actually set up. I just think it's like, if you're a newer player, especially one of the newer players that I was like, yeah, you should get on JP, it's a really good time to start the game, that it might be hard for a bit of a newer box, right? Like, you're kind of just like jumping right into it, and you don't got like that many people leveled up or anything, or your box is not super diverse, especially with them like forcing supports into your team. It might be a little more difficult. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know if you think it's suspicious that Lasengel went ahead and just programmed that in there like that. They just went ahead and said, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that it's programmable to actually add like 10 HP bars. That's a little sus to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or maybe people in the comments are like, nah, we're about to get some like insane boss at the end of Lostbelt 7, or whoever like the part 2 equivalent to Goetia is, like when we get to our Lostbelt equivalent of Solomon, that guy might be built different.